Hello, everyone. Today I'm recording for this coming Tuesday, and today I would love to talk about leadership and role model and what I've learned throughout this 2 decades of my working experience. So we learn from each other, regardless of the title, regardless of the yeah the XYZ external factors, right? So because I've gone through the wilderness journey and God has trained me when it comes to my character, when it comes to my pure intention, the center of the heart, and the character itself. Um, yes, now I have that insights that what would be against pleasing God. So in terms of character, if it's like Christ serving and good intention and helping others, obviously, yes, that is what pleases God, right? I'm not part of any group to please anybody else, but I'm very purpose driven and it's not self-seeking. It's I'm all for his plan and purpose. I don't know in detail what he wants me to be like and what that his plans and purposes are because obviously yes, I may sketch my own plan and purpose. However, obviously his ways and his plan and his purposes are far better and far higher than mine. So I need patience to let God unreveal that, right? So whatever I do it for glory of God and there's no self agenda. I used to be like, in my 20s, like, oh, like by this age, I want to accomplish this. By this age, I want to do this. And at the end of the day, I realized, and through the wilderness journey, I've learned that it's not about me. It's not about my self agenda. It's not about anything that is evolving around me. But it is all about his plan and purpose, and his plan and purpose prevails. So, and to accomplish that, he will position people in your life that would be helpful to fulfill his plan and purpose because obviously we're not supposed to be alone. We're supposed to collaborate. We're supposed to work together as one unit. So it's at the end of the day, it's like maximizing each other's strength and leveraging each other. That what makes oneness, right? One unit. So I was thinking plan and purpose, his plan and purpose prevails. And at the same time, I was thinking of the role model and at the same time anti-role model whenever I come across any people who lack character, any people who lack maturity, I'm like, oh, those are definitely a type of anti-model, like when it comes to leadership, right? So I know it's easier said than done, but I've come across a lot of people in their 50s and 60s that lack character or that lack maturity. It's like, wow, it stings. Like it's at the end of the day, we learn from each other, and definitely I learned that those type would be my anti-role model, right? So yes, I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I am still learning in progress and working in progress project. However, yes, I'm like, yeah. And at the same time, so another important leadership ingredient is also maturity, character, and also humility. It's us being humble and have the mindset that we learn from each other. Even from cleaner, we learn. I'm a cleaner at home. I love organized things and like clean stuff and they are actually far better than my cleaning skill. So this is what I mean by we learn from everyone from top to bottom and obviously that openness to learn something new every day, and at the same time helping others through your skill sets and your yeah, your value. I think that that is fair and reasonable. At the end of the day, it's a mutual, right? So in a nutshell, so because everyone, whenever I come across people like, oh, I've been in this industry for like 30 years. Okay, I respect that you're the expert, and I'm more than happy to learn. And I see you've been in the industry for so long. However, I read the book that one of the professional administrative staff who was working for a company for like 20, 30 years, she got fired. And you know what the executive told her? It's like, I've been in this industry for like 20, 30 years, and like why all of a sudden like this? And at the end of the day, that executive said to that staff saying, you only have one skill set that was administrative, and that has been repetitive for 20, 30 years. This comes down to, yeah, this comes down to my approach to those people like, oh, I've been in this industry for 20, 30 years. Okay, it's the same industry that you're in just one industry, right? So yeah, this comes down to humility and being humble as well. We learn from each other, right? So it's a new perspectives, it's a new approach and angle, obviously, yes. And whenever I come across like those people, like, very proud, which is really not pleasing God, pride, it displeases God. And humility, being humble, humility, that's the heart, that's that heart actually really pleases God, right? So recap: character, maturity, and willing to go lower and lower, lead by example, and also humility. And last ingredient, congruence. So what they talk, the word itself does not match well with their heart, and which we can feel, right? We're a human being with heart, and people can sense it. If words and actions are not well aligned and matching, something is off, and it's not trustworthy. It's not really honest, right? So it's better to be direct and very open and authentic than saying a word when their intention and their real deep down heart says B. It's misalignment, and that doesn't feel right. And yeah, so congruence. And congruent people, they're trustworthy people because words and actions match, right? It's well aligned. And I build relationship with congruent people, not with the fancy words, or like, or words that sounds favorable or good, as if it's by your side. However, if their thinking, inner thinking, does not think that, yeah, it's like, would you consider that as trustworthy? I don't think so. So it's rather better to be honest and open and authentic and blunt than being, subtle, or like what they really meant was A, but what they're talking is B, which is really mismatched and misaligned. Yeah, so those are the factors that I would consider the very important recipes and ingredients when it comes to role model. Because at the end of the day, everyone has those similar capability and similar, yeah, knowledge. It's yeah, that's why it comes down to everybody can be replaceable, right? However, those character, maturity, integrity, congruence, and humility, those are the priceless ingredients that money can't buy. And that is that sets leaders apart, because at the end of the day, capable, skill set, knowledge, you can Google, you can use ChatGPT, or you can, hire outsource people, or hire like advisor, or hire even temporary consultants, right? And at the end of the day, if you cannot really build relationship because you don't touch other people's heart, then you lack people's skill. And that comes down to humility, that comes down to character, maturity, congruence, whether your words and actions match well with each other or not. So I would say these are the various, probably the most important success factors that sets leaders apart from any other title people. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this and talk it out, because at the end of the day, it's people business. At the end of the day, it's about people, and those are really important. And lastly, stay away from people who try to bring you down. At the end of the day, if you're in a place that God positioned you because God has ordered the step, you need to work with them. How? By building that up. And when people try to bring you down, right? So stay sharp. And ascending process, it's, yeah, you would definitely face a lot of opposition and a lot of enemy, and who try to bring you down. However, at the end of the day, God's plan and God's purpose and everything prevails above your plan and your thinking and your thought, right? So those are the key points. And yeah, deal with people who are trustworthy, whose words and actions match, deep down heart, and what they say really actually match well with each other and align with each other. Congruence. Yeah, because that is one of the trustworthy, whether that person is trustworthy or not. One of the criteria I would say is congruence, whether the person is congruent person or not, right? So yes, I hope this episode was helpful. If you like this episode, please click the like button below and follow us on Instagram, fitwill.to. And we appreciate you. Thank you for taking your time to listen to this YouTube and podcast. We'll connect this coming Thursday. You're the blessing.